Hi, everybody. This is Silvio Canto in Dallas, Texas on Sunday, December the 2nd, and welcome to our video commentary. Well, Mexico has a new president, President López-Obrador, who officially became president on Saturday afternoon. I had a chance to watch a little bit of the inauguration speech. It's a little different how they do it in Mexico than how we do it up here, because down in Mexico, the president speaks to the Congress. He's actually sworn in the Congress. Whereas in the United States, the swearing in and the ceremony is more public and not a part of the congressional activity that day. But it's very interesting. He was very gracious with President Trump. He said that ever since he became president or was elected, that the United States, President Trump, had been very respectful and very supportive of his pre-presidency, if you will. He also mentioned that Vice President Pence was in the audience with Mrs. Pence and saluted both of them. And he even saluted Ivanka Trump, who was also in the audience, representing, I assume, her father. So far, so good for the new president of Mexico. Now, of course, he faces some very tough challenges, extremely tough challenges. None is bigger than the migrant crisis, which is something that a lot of people were not expecting. I think once President Trump made it very clear that they were not coming into the United States and that the border would be respected, this has become now a problem for Mexico. You're seeing it in the city of Tijuana, where the mayor in the whole city is up in arms about this caravan. They're actually blaming the Mexican central government for not giving them the resources and not helping them more. So this is a huge problem. There was a poll that came out by a Mexican newspaper saying that something like 70% of Mexicans are not in favor of these caravans. So this is a huge problem for López Obrador. He's going to have to address this and address it very, very quickly, because public opinion in Mexico is not in favor of letting these caravans go through the country. I'm not saying they're not sympathetic of the plight of many of these Central Americans, but they're not in favor of letting them walk through the country as this one has. Now, there's other problems that López Obrador faces. They're not too much different than some of his predecessors. Of course, Pemex, the oil monopoly, continues to be, in my opinion, a burden on Mexico. They need to privatize that. They need to do a better job in the agricultural sector, and they need to do, frankly, a better job in public education. Their public school system is not very good. Now, one of the good things that López Obrador's predecessor, Mr. Peña Nieto, who left office on Saturday, one of the good things that he tried to do was to reform, or at least tried to do something about the very powerful and corrupt public teachers union. And he got far. He got made a couple of changes, but there's still a lot more to be done. So Mexico faces some tough challenges, as any other country does. And we wish López Obrador the very best as president of Mexico, but there's a fascinating article by Jorge Castañeda over at the New York Times today, where Jorge basically writes that he faces challenges from the left, all the expectations that he raised in the campaign, and then he faces challenges from the right. And that basically means the middle class and the business sector, who are still very skeptical of this man named President López Obrador. So we'll see what happens. We wish him well, but it's not going to be easy managing Mexico over the next few years. Thank you for watching. We have all of these over on YouTube. We have them on Twitter, and we have them on my blog. And if December 2nd is your birthday, happy birthday. Bye-bye, everybody.